Well, today is a very, very exciting day because I've picked myself up some new rubber. Not that type of rubber, the tyre type of rubber. Let me explain why. Cue the intro. Right, okay, so when I bought the Honda Pan European, I took it out for its first ride. I've only done it once. I didn't really have a proper look at the tyres, not enough to think they were going to be as bad as they were, and these are proper squared off. Have a look at this. Now, I'm not sure if the camera will show you well enough, but that is really badly squared off, and it giving me that kind of jerking kind of feel as I was going around. You can see, hopefully, how much that is worn. And of course, that's what happens on these big touring bikes because, do you know what I mean? Who does not do massive miles on them? That's what they're designed to do. So, the most important thing of all of it is, I've picked myself up a new set of tyres. Bridgestone Battle Axe 23. Now, front and back sorted for the upcoming charity trip because this is sort of the start of the sorting the bike out. This is kind of the big deal almost. Getting a new set of tyres on this bike to make sure it handles well. Well, I am generally dead excited to get the tyres on this bike and hopefully transform the handling so it becomes more usable. It's got to be right for all the thousands of miles we're going to do on this charity trip. But it's sort of stage one to make the bike usable. So I just can't wait. I'm going to go get changed, take it down the garage, get them to put on these tyres, and hopefully it should transform it into silky smooth handling. And once that's done, if it all goes according to plan today, then it's stage two, a massive service. Obviously, I'll go around the sidekicks, pretend I'm doing it myself and get him to do most of the work and give him some expert advice why he's doing it. And then after that, I can superhero it. But this is sort of stage one of getting this bike properly sorted for the charity trip. So hopefully this Pan European is going to be silky smooth to ride once this is done. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to stick on my bike gear, get down the garage, get these tyres on, and then we'll see what this is like to handle.
Well, this is now the before the tyres are fitted shot, to give you an idea of how it feels, or at least try to explain how it feels with these squared off tyres. Because when I come up to roundabout in a minute, you'll probably, hopefully see in the steering when you can see it start notching, and your instant gut to do is to fight it and try and straighten the bike up a bit. Like there's a big problem with it. So by putting those new tyres on, I'm hoping it's going to eliminate what's about to happen, and I'll be able to do that smooth miles, because obviously this charity trip, I want to get there in one piece. I want to be able to enjoy the ride, and I don't want to sit there coming up to every single bend going, oh, this is bad. And the tyres basically need doing. They desperately need doing. So it makes the bike better and legal. But the mechanic side, here we go, look. See that in the steering? Starting to glitch a bit. See that? That's that feeling you get, and it feels really heavy because you're fighting it, because you're like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this. But the bike, naturally, when you lean, goes the way you want the bike to lean. As soon as you get to speed, look, you can see it's just beautiful then. Anything low with notchy tyres is shockingly bad. Right, I'm going to hammer the miles, get this to the garage. Okay, so I've just picked the bike up from the garage. It's had the new tyres on. They had some devastating news for me though as well, but let's just stick to tyres for a second before I tell you what I think about the devastating news. But first thing of it is this roundabout, to see what it's like, but it already feels so much better to be able to ride. I mean, oh, look at that. No more of the wheel fighting me. It's actually leaning in lovely. Oh, that's beautiful. No more hanging on for dear life and hoping that the bike's going to go around the bend. that notch feeling, it is when you actually feel it. It's quite scary because you are having to fight the steering. Where now that was just, it's like it wanted to go more than what I wanted to give it there, and that was lovely. Maybe so I was a bit nervous because of the notchy feeling, but these tyres, that's transformed that ride. Absolutely transformed it. So I'm excited that the tyres are done, but I had a couple of phone calls from the garage, and I'll explain why I'm devastated. Because they've literally said, midway from putting on the tyres, they said, I found something, I'm going to send you a couple of pictures. And basically, what these bikes are known for, but it's well hid because it's where the wheel goes in, it's behind the wheel. You could just look at the swing arm and see it. It's got a hole, and it's sort of rotting around the hole on the rear, obviously, swing arm. And that's dangerous. That's a big, big, big concern. And then on top of it, he sent me another picture later and said, I found another one. I'm like, no, because I need this right, I need this safe, and I need this to do this charity trip, because this charity trip is to raise money for the Rainbow Trust, and I'm committed, and I'm putting everything I can, my heart and soul, into this trip, and it's going to be incredible, but this bike's got to be right. So from his phone call, I've then gone, oh right, okay. I was like, how bad is it? Is it completely trashed? And he said it's hard to tell. He said once you sort of start looking, you might find it is. And I was almost waiting for that green or red light from him on what to do. And he said he'll give me a ring or chat to me when I come down, and we'll have a chat about it. Anyway, meantime, from that, to seeing these pictures, I'm like, that's not good. So of course I phoned the sidekick, and I was like, we've got some bad news on the pan. I said, it looks like we're going to have to either do some work to it or out it. And he's like, no, we're not going to out it. We'll strip it down. So then I sent him the pictures, and he went, oh, you might want to be, you might want to look for a second-hand one. Getting a second-hand swing arm for this currently looks really difficult, at least in this country. What's not so good, but I'm going to be looking for one. And then the cost of a new, this isn't from Honda new, this is, I'm guessing, well, a non-Honda part. So anyway, it's about 475, or no, it was 500 plus VAT, blah blah blah, just over 500 and something quid for a swing arm for this. What's obviously big budget stuff. So I'm like, oh no, this is not good. And then what happened next is, obviously I've gone downstairs and chatted to the bloke, and I sort of said to him, look, I said, this is what I'm sort of worried about, and I said, if it looks like it's cracking from the pictures you've sent me around, and he said, I don't think it's that bad. I think if you know a good welder, potentially take it off, and they'll probably be able to weld that up. And I was like, okay, that's again better news. So his opinion is obviously it is potentially a fixable fix. So I'm probably going to go down that route first. I think that's the most important thing, is we're going to strip the rear end off, get the swing arm off, give it a proper inspection, and go from there, and potentially, hopefully, be able to fix a swing arm on it, because otherwise it's going to be a big bill, and it's going to be a big bill right now that I generally can't afford. Not with everything else going on, with all the trips coming up and all the other stuff. So it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them. But it's devastating, because it's like I literally wanted the tyres put on this, and I've got actually some videos planned coming up with this bike. So it's like, oh no. And all those videos will depend on if I can get this swing arm sorted, and how quickly I can get this swing arm sorted out as well, because I'm actually on timescale as well. I'm actually really busy, like massively busy, and I've got a lot of let's just say, a couple of interesting press invites and stuff like that going on, and there's other adventures coming up, and obviously all the other stuff, and it literally is like my diary is already stacking up full of stuff, and the idea of having to take out the time to strip it all down and do it is time I generally don't have at the minute. I have plenty of time before the charity trip, but I need to know this bike is good and done and ready, but well before the charity trip. And it's one of them that if it isn't, I've got to get another bike, and I've got to get another bike quick, because it's got to be right. But I'm devastated, but I'm confident. But I'm not confident, because now I'm like, I don't know. I'm hoping that we can strip this down, we can get this welded and sorted, and it'll be okay. That's what I'm hoping for. But only time's going to tell, innit? Only time's going to tell. Well, do you know what? I am gutted that I'm going to have to strip the rear end out and hopefully weld it, fix it, replace it, do what I have to do to get this bike on the road. But most importantly,
The reason why this is all going on is to raise money for the Rainbows Trust Children's Charity, where they support the families with seriously or terminally ill kids, and that's why we're doing this. And none of that with the swing arm or any of that really matters. What matters is that total keeps going up. So all I can ask is if you please could dig deep, donate, let's get that total up. Are you going to be the person that's going to do it? Because I'd love to see another donation on there. I'm going to get something in the diary, I'm going to get this pan sorted and it's going to work, but it's got some nice new tyres on front and back. There's a few more bits I'm going to do. I'm going to do the discs, I'm going to do the pads all round regardless, full service, and get that swing arm done. And then it is going to be superheroed. It's going to look completely different to the way it looks now. But like I said, right now all that matters is getting that total up, and I just want to say thank you to every single person that has donated. I really appreciate it. Anyway, time for me to get to work and get this bike sorted.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again, but life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, running into better times. Go, from my emotions I'll go, running into better times, to 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 better times. Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go.